let's get you the big story at this hour. The TV actor Tunisha Sharma, who allegedly died by suicide on the 24th of December, that's Christmas Eve, while working on set in Maharashtra's Vasai, where she was shooting for a TV series, had lunch with the main accused. That is now the main accused in this case, as per the FIR filed by the police. This is her co-actor, Sheezan Khan, her former boyfriend, before she died by suicide. Now, there's a first information report or an FIR in this case that has been registered by the police. It charges Sheezan Khan for abetment to suicide. According to this FIR, the duo were in a relationship. They'd broken up over 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks before Tunisha's death. The 20-year-old actor, she was all of 20, was reportedly stressed after the breakup, and reportedly and possibly that is what pushed her to take this drastic step, is what persons close to her have said. For sure, we at NDTV have spoken with her uncle, who has said that to us. The news agency ANI has said, quoting police sources, that Sheezan Khan meanwhile told the police that he's been very disturbed by the atmosphere in the country that emerged, the narrative that emerged after the gruesome murder of Shraddha Walkar, and that caused him to take this step to decide to end his relationship with this Tunisha Sharma, this young actor. Now, Sheezan Khan, of course, the Shraddha Walkar case is that she was a young woman from Maharashtra, in Mumbai, who was in a live-in relationship with a man who eventually the narrative was, or the focus was, on the fact that he was from a different community. Now, Sheezan Khan is the main accused in this case now. He's a TV actor. He's the main accused now in the alleged suicide case of Tunisha Sharma. He was reportedly very disturbed by the atmosphere in the country that emerged after the gruesome murder of Shraddha Walkar, that he decided to end their relationship. And this has emerged after his interrogation by the police. He is in the custody of the police. This is the first day of his custody of the police, and those are some visuals of Sheezan Khan in the custody of the police there. And according to the police, he ended his relationship with Tunisha Sharma over fears of repercussions from the Shraddha Walkar case. And so he had told her that the fact that they belong to different communities stands in their way, as did their age gap. According to ANI, Sheezan Khan is 28, Tunisha was just 20. But remember, no suicide note has been recovered at the spot by the police. So the police still has to prove this allegation. But of course, the family has been speaking out. A grieving mother has spoken out and raised allegations against her daughter's former boyfriend. Politicians have been quick to jump into this case. There's been a Maharashtra politician who claims this is all connected to love jihad. Listen in.
मैं सबको, आप सब मीडिया वालों को ये बताना चाहती हूँ कि शीज़ान ने तुनिशा को धोखा दिया, उसके साथ पहले रिलेशनशिप बनाया, शादी का वादा करके फिर उसने तुनिशा से ब्रेकअप किया, और उसका पहले किसी लड़की के साथ इन्वॉल्वमेंट थी। उसके बावजूद भी तुनिशा को उसने इन्वॉल्व रखा अपने साथ, 3-4 महीने उसको यूज़ किया। बस मैं इतना कहना चाह रही हूँ कि इसको सज़ा मिलनी चाहिए, शीज़ान को नहीं छोड़ना। मेरा बच्चा गया है, बस बाकी मीडिया बहुत कोऑपरेट कर रही है। मैं तहे दिल से शुक्रिया करती हूँ मीडिया का।
अभी बात सामने ये है कि तनिष्का शर्मा की जो मौत है वो लव जिहाद का ही एक मसला है। मुझे लगता है इसकी पूरी जांच होनी चाहिए। जांच चल भी रही है, क्या आने वाले वक्त दिन पर दिन हम लोग देख रहे हैं कि ये ऐसे जो मामले हैं वो बढ़ रहे हैं। मुझे लगता है इसके लिए, इसीलिए इसके खिलाफ सख्त से सख्त कानून लाना चाहिए, और हम उसके ऊपर विचार कर रहे हैं।
जून 2023 से 22 से चल रहा है ये शूटिंग, और ये जो डेथ हुई वो लड़की है, और जो इसमें हीरो के इसमें काम करने वाला जो लड़का है जिशान, उनके दोनों के आपस में फ्रेंडशिप की, और बाद में उनके प्रेम के संबंध आ गए। तो इसी में वो लड़के ने गए 15 दिन के बाद ब्रेकअप किया, तो उसमें वो लड़की टेंशन में थी, और उसी इसमें उसने कल सेट पे जो रेस्ट रूम है वहाँ पे जाके सुसाइड कर लिया है।
देखिए अभी ये टोटल सस्पिशियस है, कोई ठोस सबूत नहीं है पुलिस के पास, लेकिन जो काम है किसी का जान गया है, किसी का जान गया है, इसलिए कोर्ट अपना काम कर रहा है, हम अपना काम कर रहे हैं, आप लोग अपना।
4 दिन की कस्टडी दी गई है क्या?
4 दिन की कस्टडी दी गई है, उसमें पिक्चर क्लियर हो जाएगा। अगर कुछ रहेगा तो पुलिस
आपके
इन्वेस्टिगेट
क्लाइंट
करेगी।
पर आत्महत्या के लिए उकसाने का केस है।
नहीं ऐसा देखिए, आज कोई भी अगर ऐसा होता है तो इन्वेस्टिगेशन लगता है,
कैमरा भाई मेरे
ठीक है, उसके ऊपर ऐसा लगाया गया है, ऐसा उसने कुछ किया नहीं।
राय साहब कोई सबूत मिले, कोई कुछ फोन वोन रखा है इन लोगों ने?
अभी पुलिस उसका फोन पुलिस के पास है और अभी तक कोई सबूत जो है मिला नहीं।
All right, so a horrible, horrible, tragic death of a young actor, young lady with so much promise, a whole future ahead of her. To discuss this further, to take this further, joining us now are Mohit Abrol. He is Tunisha Sharma's co-star. We also have Nazir Abdullah, the actor. And we have Dr. Prakriti Podar, a mental health expert. If I could go across to you first, Mohit Abrol. You've worked with Tunisha. Does that mean you've worked with Sheezan also? And what did you know about their relationship? What can you add? Because like I said, you know, this is truly unfortunate that we have a young girl, all of 20, who has lost her life. And we hope that we can all learn some lessons from it without getting into, you know, crazy narratives and having tempers flare without actually gaining some knowledge about how we can prevent this from happening to other young women. In that context, what do you know about this young woman and Sheezan?
See, as far as Tunisha is concerned, she was full of energy. She was very positive. I never thought that she'll commit something like this. She'll do something like this. And that also in the studio itself, like in the makeup room. And she was a happy soul. She was kind of girl, who lit up the whole room with a smile. And it's very difficult for me to even, think about that she's not in this world right now. And they shared a very, normal relationship on the sets, Sheezan and Tunisha. So, we could never gauge that something is happening like this. Like something can happen like this. It's very unfortunate, whatever has happened.
But they were in a relationship and you were aware of that?
See, they never came out in the open about it, but we all knew because they used to spend time together. They used to be like on the set, they used to be together. So yeah, we knew.
So it was a natural organic process according to you?
Sorry?
It was a natural organic process from what you could see on the outside without either of them sharing any information about this. Because the parents are claiming there was a relationship. I spoke with the uncle who claims that, she had confided in the family, that the boy's side had even introduced her to his mother. But you're saying nobody on the set was aware of this. They weren't openly.
No, everybody on the set was aware of. Everybody on the set was aware of it. Like they were together. Yeah.
But they didn't acknowledge it. They hadn't openly announced that.
Like I never spoke to them about it.
Okay.
So yeah, but it was quite apparent, from the way the things were there on the set.
And what do you make now about these allegations? We have the family who has accused Sheezan of abetting her suicide. And of course, this is a very, very difficult time for any family. They're going through a lot of grief. So in that context, what do you make of these allegations? Because you know both of them.
See, I would like not to comment on anything like about such things, about the allegations and everything, because I used to do my work and I used to go home. But whatever there is, the police is investigating, so they'll get to know the truth. Whatever has happened, if there is anything wrong which has happened to her, the police is going to investigate and they're going to find out.
All right. But in your shooting that took place on the 24th, were you there on set?
No, I wasn't there.
Okay. But in the 2 weeks leading up to that, the 15th of December to the 24th, you had been in touch. You all were working together. Did she seem upset, depressed, anything like that? Because the family says that she was.
See, because I came back to Dharamshala, my mom wasn't feeling well. She had a heart surgery and all. So I had to come back. I had to quit the show and I had to come back. Like it's been a month already. So I came back here on 26th of November. So after that, I was in touch, like on the Instagram and like on the apps mostly, like how are you and stuff. That's it. But never it came to anybody's mind. Like the people on the set, they would have never gauged that something would happen. Like she would do something like this.
All right, all right. Sorry to hear about your mom's health, but let's get Nazir Abdullah in. Mr. Abdullah, you've been watching or following up on this story, I'm assuming. What are your thoughts first on it and the direction in which it's going? The death of a young woman, a young actor with a whole career ahead of her, extremely sad, extremely tragic, and now the direction in which this case and the narratives around this case are taking.
Yeah, I've been on your show actually earlier, only yesterday. So here is what is happening here. And I don't think I'll be able to express all my thoughts, which are very, very relevant. But here's the deal. Relationships get soured up. They fail. They don't work out. And people have to go through this. And I see it on the roadside. I see a man and a woman, young boy and a girl having arguments. Even like a slapping on the face happens because, the man is not able to continue and, the girl gets upset. But here's the problem. I think that actually Tunisha had become very, very fragile. She maybe had some other issues, etc. It's a known fact. She was in the hospital for an anxiety attack, etc., which could have been due to the souring of the relationship. But here's the deal. A lot of women manage to go past this without much of a problem. And the fact that she didn't show that she was actually depressed is normal. People who are working on the set, they have a commitment. Actors have a commitment.
The show must go on.
Exactly. And it's also work. They feel responsible. If I'm sick, I will still go to work because I know if I don't reach the set, the producer will lose lakhs of rupees maybe because he'll have to postpone the shoot. A whole day is gone. So let's be there. Here is the deal. I was told in the very beginning that they ate together, which is fine. Somebody seemed to object to it, that if they were out of the relationship, why were they lunching? That's a lot of rubbish. You can eat lunch with a person who has broken up with you.
And but hopefully you should be able to, if you need to, find some closure to that.
Whatever. It's okay. Breakups don't have to be violent. You don't have to take out a knife and go for each other. But here's the deal. They apparently had an argument before this thing happened, which I heard repeatedly, and now I'm not hearing very much of it, which is very strange, because my feeling is when there is an argument, words fly around and the tempers get frayed, it can lead to anything. It can lead to murder. It can lead to raising your fist. It can lead to abuses, and it can lead to a heart attack. It can lead to fainting. It can lead to an asthmatic fit. So if that argument had not happened, which actually did, and I was told that repeatedly, and now they don't seem to be talking very much about it, that's when she went inside. She locked herself inside 20 minutes after, and she was in the bathroom. They had to break up the bathroom door. This is the information I have. So this is the thing, fragility. And the last thing I want to say, and please, this is very important, I forgot to say it. Yesterday, Maha asked me if there is a message I want to give to the young ladies and the men.
Yes.
And I had said, ladies, do not ever give your life up for another man. No man is worth it. Never do it. Never do it at any cost. The other thing I want to say to the men, to the young men, please be careful, because there's a tendency amongst the men to think very highly of themselves. They think they're actually stuff, and they do not realize that a woman's feelings are more sensitive. They react more emotionally. So please don't be arrogant. I've seen it in the past. Whenever men, including, I have the example of Mr. Madhur Bhandarkar, he was rather rude to this girl, made her the promises and acted like, oh, brush you off. She took him to the cleaners. She tried to have him arrested. She tried to have him assassinated. She went to a mafia don, Mr. Gowley, many years ago, to have him exterminated. So I want to tell the young boys, please, do not be rude. Do not humiliate anybody. Be nice. Be decent. Be decent. Don't be arrogant with a lady with whom you don't want to have a relationship with anymore. Be very nice and end it very nicely, very, very beautifully. I have seen in the cases of also Suraj Pancholi with Jia Khan, things go wrong. It's not fair. Please be nice. Please be decent.
Respectful.
Do not be arrogant.
All right.
Exactly. Do not be arrogant.
All right.
About
And
it.
in this case, at this point of time, we do not know one way or the other if this relationship had soured or if they broke up on a ugly note, whether it was a healthy breakup, whether it was a respectful breakup, whether they were still supportive of each other, and purely going by the fact that they had lunch together the day before and there's a photo of them together, it seems like they were still being supportive of each other, but there is no way for anyone knowing as of now.
They had an argument too. Please remember that. They had a violent, reasonably aggressive argument too.
Okay.
That's a known fact.
Okay.
Before she committed suicide.
Okay. But I want to bring in Dr. Prakriti Podar over here. Many issues raised both by Mohit and by Nazir Abdullah, and all of them really focusing on the issue of mental health and fragility. So first to you, Mohit Abrol points out something, correct me if I'm wrong, doctor, but this is what we hear often in cases of death by suicide. I never thought she would do anything like this. She was happy, she was outgoing, she was friendly. We saw this especially post the case of the Robin Williams, the famous international star, the comedian who died by suicide. So, Dr. Podar, this is normal to see someone who may be in depression, but outwardly to everyone, to the world, it seems like they're absolutely okay. Is that correct, ma'am?
That's 100% correct. You don't often see people display mental health concerns out in public because they have a very good way of hiding it. And this, Tunisha was also an actor, so I'm sure she, as Mr. Abdullah pointed out, she was capable of putting on a front. And I really do think that this, brings us to understand that we need to take mental health seriously, because even if a person is looking well or feeling well or behaving.
All right, we seem to have lost the line there with Dr. Podar. Can we try and get her back? Because she was making an important point over there that I think, and again for the family, because I spoke with the family. I'm just going to come to you, Mohit Abrol. I spoke with the family and I tried to ask them because they're the only ones who are saying so far that she was depressed. And the question is, were they able to help her? Were they able to make her feel supported, that she didn't need to take such a drastic step? But Mohit Abrol, you wanted to say something. I also want to raise another point over here. The family, the mother, who again, as I'm saying, she's a grieving mother. The worst that could ever happen to her. She's lost her child, all of 20, has spoken out. She talks about the fact she claims that this young man was cheating on her daughter. And I'm putting myself out on a limb by saying this on national TV that, cheating is not a crime per se. So I don't know how this young man can be held accountable for that. It is certainly immoral. It is certainly unprincipled. He certainly should be embarrassed of it. But it is not a crime right now under our legal system. Mohit Abrol, if you could also touch upon that a little bit.
Well, I would like to say that, this girl was only 20, right? So
very young.
The way, she was a teenager, so she might not have handled the pressure, whatever she was going through. She would have been scared. I don't know what she was going through, but she must have been going through a lot.
All right, we're having some problems here with Mohit Abrol.
I wanted to make a small point.
Go ahead, Mr. Abdullah. Since your line is the clearest, please do.
Okay, yeah, I got lucky. So here is the situation, that she was depressed. It's not easy to tell. And when a person commits suicide, we really don't know. And that has happened in the past to many people. Because when their closest friends hear about the suicide, they say, what? Oh my God, no. We were supposed to go to see a movie. We were to go to the Andaman Islands. We were to go to Cash. They had plans. They had no indication. So it's very difficult to know who will snap when. So it seems that with that argument, her mood, her mind went into a tizzy. And there could be other issues as well about the menstrual thingy happening that makes a person even more volatile. I'm not going to go too much out there, but that is what happens. There is this, the inability to handle the stuff, the inability, and there is no way, nobody can know when you will commit suicide. I have seen it over a dozen of the cases.
All
this
right.
has happened.
Let's
No
get in Dr.
indication.
Prakriti Prodar back on. Dr. Prakriti Prodar, we at NDTV have been consistently focusing on the issue of mental health. It is a huge epidemic that our country is facing. It has only been exacerbated by this pandemic. And again, this gives us an opportunity to focus on mental health, and that is what we need to be focusing on, not on the other issues about whether so-and-so was cheating or not cheating. Take us through why mental health is so important, and how does one reach out to somebody who may be going through such issues if they're not outwardly sharing any of this?
So there are many mental health signs and symptoms that you can actually target, red flags, as they say. So those red flags are really mood swings, changes in behavior, which only very close loved ones will be able to tell. If there's a recent breakup, it's always a good time to connect with somebody because you have temporary lapses in judgment. If there's any life change, like any change of location, any change of situation, financial or emotional, all those things are really important to take into consideration. More importantly, I think Mr. Abdullah mentioned that she already had a history of anxiety attacks. I think that is something to consider. If somebody has a history of any kind of mental health issue, then you must take it seriously to actually counsel them. By counseling, I don't mean just going to a counselor, although that is really important. I think most people in India believe that is for somebody else, but it really is for all of us. And really doing a mental health check, just as you do like physical health checks, are really important. You're talking to somebody, aligning your, so it's resilience. It's like, how do you build your resilience so that you can handle situations that come up
Everything
in your life.
that life will throw at you. It could be anything, especially, I mean, of course, breakups. We will all have to, I'm assuming most of us will have to go through one at some point or other of our lives. But Mohit Abrol, you were cut off.
I think as everybody has mentioned here, you are not going to be able to tell what a person is going through just via the physical appearance. Conversation, really talking needs to be done. Real talk.
And
not
remember,
just
let's not
lip service
forget
of like,
she
how
was
are you
all
doing?
of 20. Very, very,
So
very young. And perhaps
37% of the youth, 37% of the youth are suffering with mental health issues here in India. So you're looking at you're talking about an epidemic. I mean, this is a pandemic.
Yeah. Also, I just want to clarify, the family, there are some reports that Mr. Khan, Sheezan Khan, told the police that she had tried attempted suicide, and he had managed to reach out to her and they prevented that. He then informed the family. He asked the mother to take care of her. The family has, they're denying this. I just spoke with the uncle. We'll play up that interview with the uncle, but the family has so far denied that. But it seems, as per some reports, that there were some signs and they had tried to flag it. And it would be truly unfortunate if nobody, despite that, was able to help this young woman. Mohit Abrol, you're in a difficult position. You've been friends with her. You're friends with Shaheen too. Your co-stars. You've all worked together. I'm guessing you all eat together on the set. So I want to just give you the last word. You were cut off the last time. Your last word on this discussion.
So I would just like to say that it's really sad. It's really unfortunate that a young girl like her, she was on her way to stardom. She was so good. She was so talented. And she was so happy. She was so positive. I could only say good things about her because I've seen her in real. I've seen her, the energy she brings on the set, the scenes, the way she behaves with the co-actors, the staff, the lighting guy, everybody. And she was brilliant. I don't know why she did this, and I just wish, she should have spoken to somebody on the set that time, and there should have been somebody who could have helped her out. That's what, like, no other words I have.
No other words. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you all for joining us on this debate, on this discussion. And like I said, we did speak with the family. I managed to speak with her uncle and tried to ask him some of these very difficult questions to put across to someone who's grieving. But here's how it went. Listen in. Mr. Sharma, thank you so much for your time. This is a very difficult moment for you and the family. You have lost your young niece, all of 20, so promising. As we can see, she had a huge promising career and a full life ahead of her. Pavan Sharma ji, what is happening now in the investigation? We have just heard Tunisha's mother, उन्होंने बात की है टीवी पे. She's obviously disturbed and grieving, but she is upset about her daughter's ex-boyfriend. उसके बारे में what more can you tell us, sir?
जी, जैसा तुनिशा की मम्मी ने कहा कि वो काफी दिनों से काफी ज्यादा परेशान थी तुनिशा, और उसने उनको बताया था कि शीजान के रिलेशन जो है, उसको पता चला है कि शीजान के रिलेशन और भी कई लड़कियों के साथ है, जो कि उसने उसको पहले नहीं बताया था और उससे कुछ वादे किए थे, और अभी वो सब चीजों से पीछे हट रहा है, जिस वजह से वो स्ट्रेस में थी. उसके बाद सेट पे क्या हुआ, शूटिंग के शीजान के मेकअप रूम में उन दोनों ने खाना खाया, और उसके बाद क्या हुआ किसी को नहीं पता. हमें तो सीधा हमें तो हॉस्पिटल पहुंच के कॉल आया उन लोगों का कि आप आ जाइए, तुनिशा की तबीयत ठीक नहीं है. तो हम वहाँ पहुंचे तो तब तक तुनिशा जा चुकी थी दुनिया छोड़कर.
Again, sir, so sorry, but sir, ये जो breakup हुई थी, it's been at least 2 weeks. Were you all in touch with her, talking to her? She was, I mean, the charges are very, very grave to make right now, क्योंकि breakups तो होते हैं, sir, सबके साथ नहीं?
उसने अभी थोड़े दिन पहले उसको पैनिक अटैक भी आया था, जिसमें कि वो सेट पे बेहोश हो गई थी. तो तब उसे हॉस्पिटल लेके गए थे शूटिंग वाले ही उन लोगों. तब तुनिशा ने अपनी मदर को बताया कि उसने मुझे चीट किया है, वो मेरे साथ गलत हुआ है, इस तरह के वर्ड्स उसने बोले थे.
सर, सर ANI रिपोर्ट कर रही है कि शेजान खान ने पुलिस को बताया था कि तुनिशा ने हैज ट्राइड टू कमिट सुसाइड अगेन प्रीवियसली इन द लास्ट 2 weeks.
Never. She never tried to commit suicide.
Sir, it seems her mother was informed and asked to take extra care of her, be watchful of her in the last 2 weeks. Is that not true?
So she was in stress only.
Yes.
So that's why her mother was worried about her. इसलिए वो सेट पे भी गई थी बीच में 1-2 दिन कि वो ठीक है या नहीं, बट वो ठीक थी एकदम. तभी अगर ब्रेकअप हो गया था तो फिर ये लोग रोज साथ में लंच क्यों कर रहे थे, एक ही रूम में साथ में क्यों थे अकेले. तो वो सब क्या था, अगर ब्रेकअप हो चुका था तो फिर आप क्यों उसके साथ टाइम स्पेंड कर रहे हैं दोबारा से.
So do you know how Tunisha felt about the breakup?
Yeah, she told me that मेरे साथ चीटिंग हुई है, मेरे साथ गलत हुआ है, वो ऐसा कैसे कर सकता है. And he has relations with other girls also. So कोई भी, और दूसरा इनका.
So उस समय what did you advise her? Did you tell her she's better off on her own? You know that she has a bright future ahead of her. आपने क्या बताया उनको?
मैंने उसको यही कहा, मैंने कहा कि जो भी है रिलेशनशिप होते हैं, but she was very hurt about the cheating. She was like कि वो बता नहीं रही थी कि क्या हुआ है, किस बात, क्या चीज उसने देखी है ऐसी है, उसके साथ क्या हुआ है, वो क्लियरली नहीं बताने की कंडीशन में थी. और उसके बाद भी उसने बात नहीं की बिल्कुल भी. वो तब से स्ट्रेस में ही थी लगातार पिछले 10 से 12 दिन से. किसी को नहीं बता रही थी कि क्या बात है, लेकिन सेट पे सिर्फ जीशान से वो बात कर रही थी और जीशान भी उससे बात कर रहा था. तो हमें लग रहा था कि सब ठीक है, दोस्ती होती है, अगर एक साथ शूटिंग करते हैं तो दोस्ती होती है. बट ये नहीं पता कि क्या इंटरनली क्या चल रहा था. वो इन्वेस्टिगेशन में ही सामने आएगा. अगर इन्वेस्टिगेशन ठीक से होती है तो डेफिनेटली सामने आएगा.
Pavan Sharma ji, you know Tunisha की माँ ने इंटरव्यू दी है where she says that he promised to marry her daughter but didn't. So did the family want her? You're saying that you wanted her to marry this young man even though you claim that he was cheating on her. Is that the case? Family की stand क्या थी? Were you for this relationship? Were you against this relationship?
उसने नो वी एक्चुअली रिलेशनशिप वाला हमें तुनिशा ने ऐसा कभी नहीं बोला. तुनिशा ने बताया कि मेरा अच्छा दोस्त है वो.
हाँ, but you have no issues. You would have been, the family had no issues with the fact that she was seeing a man who was older than she was by 8 years and from a different religion, a different community.
Yeah.
Okay.
तो अगर ज़ीशान ने ऐसा बोला है कि because someone told me कि ज़ीशान ने ऐसा बोला है कि मैंने इसलिए ब्रेकअप किया because we are from the different community. So if it was the reason, so why he started all this on long away, like 3 months, घूमना फिरना, इतना ज्यादा इन्वॉल्वमेंट, उसको अपनी माँ से मिलाना, उसकी ज़ीशान की मदर उससे बातें करती थी फोन करके, एंड ज़ीशान की सिस्टर उससे बातें करती थी. व्हाई? इफ यू आर फ्रॉम डिफरेंट कम्युनिटी एंड यू नो दैट वी कैन नॉट पुल इट, सो व्हाई यू. तुनिशा की मम्मी ने समझाया भी था, मना भी किया था कि बेटा आप इतना आगे नहीं जाना चाहते हो लाइफ में, और आप तो फिर ये सब रिलेशनशिप इतना क्यों बढ़ाया, जो इतना नहीं बढ़ाना चाहिए कि किसी को उतना हर्ट हो कि वो ऐसा कुछ कर ले. या फिर उसके साथ क्या हुआ है अभी हमें ये भी कंफर्म नहीं है. मे बी ये सुसाइड, पुलिस बताएगी कि सुसाइड था या क्या था.